it like this.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? It's another Mix It Up podcast. I'm your host, Joel Hawkinson. Of course, I'm here with my buddy.
It's Jones.
I almost thought you were going to do something else. Okay, so today we're doing... It's going to be a reaction podcast, but it's something different. I randomly found something, and I saw people like social media posting type thing, and I was like, I don't want to watch it, but I just need to know that this might be something, you know? So we're going to be, and I even right now, I'm trying to think of it. I don't remember the name. What's his name?
Lamont Landers. Let's go with Lamont Landers. Lamont Landers for 200.
I wasn't paying attention. And yeah, we were trying to find the video, and I'm literally saying his name wrong the entire time to try and find the video.
Laramount? Is Laramount?
Yeah, it was Laramount. Like Paramount was. It's been a rough week, but so we're gonna check out Lamont
Landers.
Lamont Landers. Showtime at the Apollo. So we're going to check this out, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell notification so you know when new things are coming on. Share the video. We do reactions, top 10. We do the baseline thing. I'm still upset. It's still not up. Like it's on. Mm-hmm. It's been on since last week. Mm-hmm. But one little 2.5 second clip of a baseline is keeping that video from going up, and it won't let me cut the video part out.
Yeah.
It won't let me do it. Grayed out.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm really kind of hating for it was what, 10 songs, 2 seconds at the most we were listening to a bass line. And they're like, you can't use that bass line. It promotes us and we don't like it. Bah! Like, it's stupid. The algorithm, all that it is so fucking stupid. We're making a podcast where 37 seconds of it is a bunch of different tracks of bass lines. We're talking about the artists themselves. The whole episode's scrubbed, basically. I'm gonna have to go in and cut out all those bass lines. Then what are people gonna do? I'm gonna have to mouth it. We're gonna have to mouth the bass lines. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, everybody's gonna be like, what the fuck is happening? What are these guys doing? So I'm thoroughly upset because that was a good top 10 episode, and it's just wasted. Oh, it makes me so angry.
I can tell.
It makes me so flippin' angry.
About a couple F-bombs in it.
Oh, so much. And I have to cut all that out on this episode. Otherwise it's gonna get struck for cursing, and ads are not gonna want to play on it. We don't make enough for monetization to do it, but it's the only money we have coming in for the show. So we have to do it.
A little bit more, please.
So frustrating. Until this channel hits like 100,000 views on average, that's the only time we could actually, get a sponsor. You can't get a sponsor before that. Unless it's like, hey, would you like some Earl's Clip Bog Chips? They're super awesome. And even then, you're literally like, I'll give you 60 videos for $50.
It sounded like you said Earl Clips Body Chips?
Bog Chips. I just made up something. I was just
like body
let's
chips.
See how much word salad Joel's brain can create in one sentence. Yes.
I don't want any body chips.
Bog Chip.
I don't know what that is either.
It's something I made up. It doesn't exist. Who knows? There's probably somewhere where it's like, yeah, I eat bog chips all the time. They're very lovely. They taste so amazing. So yeah, we're gonna check out. Are you sure it's Lamont or it is Lamont Landers? I'm an idiot.
See,
it's a Bill Withers cover, which
okay.
Now don't get me wrong. I saw one clip of his voice. Mm-hmm. It will trip you out. Mm-hmm. But we'll talk more in depth. Okay, let's just go ahead and check it out. Okay, here we go. We're gonna check it out. Steve Harvey, I love that guy.
Oh, my friends, feeling 7 point didn't do day. They keep trying to tell me. Oh, you wanna do with you, me? just keep on using me, baby. Lord, now until you use me, until you use me, Ooh, but no, baby, when you love me, I can't get enough. That if it feels as good in you, just keep on using me, baby. Lord, now until you use me, hey, until you use me,
Of course, it's like a short clip or whatever. Okay, so no, it wasn't bad. No, I told you he has a talented, very unusual and unique voice, especially saying he's a frickin' ginger. I mean, you look at that voice and you hear that voice and you look at his face and you're like, yeah, one doesn't look like the other. Like, it's just, it doesn't match at all. But the thing I saw, because he was on America's Got Talent or something like that, and he did a couple things. Simon Cowell really wanted to like him, but just had issue with a lot of stuff. I think he has the talented voice, but I don't think, because that song, for instance, Use Me, there's so much more he could have done with that.
I thought it was going to towards the end.
That's what I thought, but he's always holding back. He doesn't go full on out. And he does that thing where it's like the minute he gets a little bit of emotion and it's like, you think he's going to hit that distorted vocal fry and then scream out loud, you know? And he doesn't. Yeah. And he just goes back down.
Well, especially even on something like that, if you get on a show and you got a minute and a half, like you got to throw them ad libs in.
That's when you do it.
Yeah, because like you don't have time to wait for second verse. And you're like, can we do it on the bridge? It ain't no bridge.
Yeah.
It ain't no second
verse.
You got
a minute and a half. Let's blow it all out, man.
Yeah.
But he doesn't do that. And when he was doing the America's Got Talent, I saw a couple of those and I was like, I mean, don't get me wrong, he's talented voice. Great tone. I mean, great tone. Like, it's just a very well-rounded tone. He's got the vocal fry and capability, kind of like Chris Stapleton has that same kind of vocal fry. Yeah. But Chris Stapleton hits them highs and fucks with that shit.
Yeah.
Like, he goes with it, you know? This guy, I know he can do it because of the tone and the fact you hear little bits of it, like he's almost about to hit it, and then he's like, no. Like, he just keeps holding back and stamping it down. Or maybe he's afraid he'll fail or crack on that note or screw up or something. Fear can keep a lot of people from being better singers.
I think that song itself, you can kind of add a little bit of scat into it and just kind of play around with stuff and it would still work.
It just at the end, during that climax part, he had a chance to just go nuts with it and he didn't do it.
Especially once the crowd stands up, it's like, all right, energy rush, and
that should have made his whole body go like adrenaline style, but he didn't. He just held back like a turtle, like pulling his neck in, you know. Vulnerable, like that's what it felt more like. And I before I watched like the little social media clip, I saw like some stuff that he posted and everything else, and I was like, man, he just holds back all the way across. Like, he either picks a song that doesn't really fit what he's doing, and he doesn't try and alter it to fit his voice and double down on that voice and try some things and experiment. He just kind of picks stuff where it's like, let's speed up the tempo so it means less and it's not as deep or not as rich. Almost like he doesn't want to sing like that, but he has the capability to do it, you know? And then he picks stuff that's sometimes so drawn out and long that it's like, and like that's the kick. And it's like, geez, dude, just too fast or too slow. Pick that middle where it's like a funky groove and vibe. He did on this song and it sounded great, but he held back. He could have blown out that end.
Yeah.
He could have blown out the back out of that end and he didn't do it. He just kind of held back, and it kind of makes me sad because I mean, he's got like, okay, Oliver Anthony is a talented musician and he's a pretty good singer. But I promise you, if Oliver Anthony had that dude's voice,
oh yeah,
Oliver Anthony would have blown that out full heart. And I mean, Chris Stapleton does have that dude's voice with a little bit more and a little bit extra because he can do that country rock soul thing, which is so freaking weird. But yeah, Chris Stapleton's voice is very unique. I love that guy. I want to watch him again. But
this kind of reminds me of Daly. Have you heard that artist?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
When you see the picture of him, you're like, well, what is he gonna sing? And he started singing like, wait, no. Well, that's him.
The Spencer Lee Band was the same thing because the whole time you played me that song, you knew it too. You could tell in your face. I was like, man, that's a really good band. That's a good song. And then you were like, why don't we see the little visualizer movie they got? And I'm looking, I'm like, it's a bunch of white dudes. Why are they in this video? And you were like, he doesn't know. I could tell with your side eye that you were like, they're all white. I mean, don't get me wrong. That type of deep tone voice and full, you do not think Ginger Kid.
Yeah. But I mean, even for him being Ginger and doing that song, him doing a little bit would go a long way.
True.
Because they'd be like, well, we don't look at you to hear that kind of sound.
Yeah.
So if you do have that sound, it's like,
it's that type of stuff that kind of breaks people through a lot of things that they wouldn't have normally had. Like, again, when Eminem first came out, like in my mind, when people told me that, oh, there's this guy Slim Shady, Eminem, he's freaking amazing. And I was like, okay, well, that's cool. It's a crazy ass name. And they were like, no, like he's a white guy. And I'm like, oh, another white guy trying around. And I'm thinking Vanilla Ice or Powder P from Mo Thugs. That's what I was thinking. Because I like Powder P from Mo Thugs, but he only had like two verses on like 2 tracks on the whole album. Hey, Powder P, can't get 12 gauge, outlaw every day on the front page. I mean, he sounded super country, which is kind of funny. He probably is super country. But that's like the only thing he was on. He didn't exist after that. No one heard of Powder P, you know? And it was like stuff like Vanilla Ice got made fun of for years. Yeah. Decades that dude got made fun of.
Still getting royalties, by the way.
Oh yeah, he made his money. He made his money.
Making his money.
Well, I don't know. I don't hear that
it still
all the
pop
time
up
anymore.
every now and then.
Okay, yeah, it still pops up every now and then, but no one's jamming that fucking shit in their car all the time.
He's just getting licensing deals pretty much. Plus,
not to mention, part of that has to go to, you know, Queen and all them, because not their song. And Bowie, I can't remember, did Queen write that or did Bowie write that? They both did play Pressure. I don't remember. Anyways, maybe y'all know. Please put in the comments.
Somebody
Sorry, I don't know everything. And the things I do know, I forget.
Very accurate.
So it's very accurate. It's so accurate, it's crazy. But no, it's just like it's that type of premise where you have like Eminem who comes on the scene and you're like, it wasn't the fact that he was a great rapper. It wasn't just that fact. It was just the fact that people automatically assumed that he sucked and he was a novelty act. And then they heard him and went, oh shit, this is real. This is not bullshit. Because then he also said crazy stuff too. Like when you look through his first album's lyrics, you're like, holy crap, that's super dark. Like, because you had at that point in time, the music was, you had like hip hop, poppy type hip hop stuff. And then you had gangster rap or rap, which was pretty hardcore shit. But when he came out, it was like, and then you had a third category. Which a lot of the times people thought, oh, Fred Durst, ICP, you know, they're the third category. No, Eminem had his own. Like he was just that guy who would be like, hey, I'm going to rhyme meth addiction with my wife's name and a bunch of other shit and mix it all together. I'm going to make a song about murdering her. I mean, I've never ever heard, like, there might be a line in a rap line or a verse or a 16 or, you know, a 24 or something okay, that's fine. Where it's like, I'm gonna kill you, bitch. I'm gonna kill you, asshole. You know, blah, blah, blah. Eminem wrote a whole song of him actually murdering her and talking to his daughter like, it's okay, mommy's just sleeping. Like,
Yeah.
the balls on that guy. I mean, he had no fear. He had no fear. And if anybody came at him, he'd be like, I'm going to destroy you, right? And I'm a new rapper and I'm fucking killing and bodying fucking OG rappers. Like he was doing that left and right. He had respect for those he respected. But anybody who came at him just because they called him a novelty, he fucking terrorized and tortured. I mean, remember local, like newish shit, like Jay Budden and all that shit that happened.
Joe Budden.
Well, his name, Jay Budden, I've heard him called that too.
Oh, I know him as Joe Budden. Is it Jay? Is it Joe?
Well, it's Joe Budden, but I've heard people call him Jay Budden, but it wasn't in a nice context. It was in a mean context. Yeah, it was in a very mean context. They were huge Eminem fans, that's why. But the thing about like Joe Budden's whole conversation was he was like, I was a fan of Eminem. I just didn't like this album. I thought it was trash, blah, blah, blah. Well, that's just an opinion. It's artist subjective. That's the way it works. But Eminem was just kind of like, I will let it go. But then people started trashing Joe Budden because, I mean, you got to think about it. I mean, who's known better?
Oh, yeah. Eminem.
Definitely.
All day.
So it felt like a clout chaser was trying to come after him, you know? And he kind of became more of a household name because he went after Eminem.
Yeah.
I mean, because I hadn't thought about Joe Budden in a very long time.
Maybe he was more popular local out there.
Oh, definitely more local, definitely. But I just hadn't thought or heard of him in such a long time until that beef. Yeah. But of course, it's me, so I'm like, they're beefing? Okay, I don't care. Like most of the time, that's the way it ends or whatever else. The only one that actually made me laugh and like straight up just like I enjoyed the beef severely because of the laughter, and it was the whole I forgot his name, MGK.
Beef with who? Oh yeah,
Eminem.
Too? Oh, okay.
Yeah, he like put out this song that was talking shit, and then Eminem was like, okay, I'm gonna put out a song, and he put out a song called Kill Shot. Just shot him up. And MGK's like, yeah, I got him to react to it, you know? Which that was the whole fucking point. Because then it was funny that he got razzed so much that all of a sudden MGK stopped doing hip hop and started doing like rock music and pop music. And it was like, we see how it is. You got just enough popularity that you convinced UMG to turn you into a rock or pop act. And that's where you're at now. Now he's the guy who's like, you know, I'm not a rapper. I'm an artist. You know, he's that guy. He's like, just gonna write albums about, you know, emotional shit. Like that's just what he was doing. I mean, don't get me wrong. MGK is talented. It's just
Megan Fox.
When
at this point.
Oh, really? I didn't even. Oh yeah, I guess they were dating, weren't they? Were they married?
I
don't know. Whatever.
He's just the boyfriend.
I haven't really cared about a Megan Fox since like Transformers 1. Like that was the last time. Which I don't even know how old she was then. I think she's my age, or your age at least.
A year and a half younger?
You're 4 years younger than me, so she's at least your age.
37. You're not 41. 41.
Yeah. We've established this well in our own canon.
I always think that you're like 2 years older.
No, well, I guess it feels that way because technically, emotionally, I'm probably 6 years younger than you, but which is true. Sad but true. But yeah, no, Transformers 1 was when I was like, oh, Megan Fox is so hot.
I'm pretty sure everybody saw that movie and said the same thing.
Yeah. And then Transformers 2 came along. I was like, why? This is getting weird, man. And then she wasn't even in 3, and I was like, okay, it's done. I mean, she was in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but that movie felt weird for me all the way across because I love TMNT. And I was like, this feels odd. Johnny Knoxville's playing Leonardo. This feels wrong. The movies weren't bad. They weren't like
That's super. Just a voice.
They weren't super bad or anything. It was just, I do like the fact the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles actually has teenagers playing the Ninja Turtles. That makes way more sense. And it would have made sense in the 80s and 90s. Why didn't you do that? Hearing Raphael talk and he sounds like a 47-year-old Brooklynite. I mean, that was weird as a kid. And it's a dude dressed up in a costume. He's like, oh yeah, Leo. Like he looks like this. I'm like, who? He's a turtle. They listen to people above on the street corner. Was he like live near the mafia? Is that what happened? Oh yeah, Leo. Like that's how he talked. It was like a consistent scream. And Michelangelo sounded like an anime character. I mean, or like a cool version of Casey Kasem. That movie wrecked me. And I loved him when I was a kid. But it was just when you got older, you're like, that was weird. Why did I like that? It's like 50-year-old man. I mean, good Lord. Guy who played with the hockey mask. What was that character's name? Casey James? No, Casey James. I can't remember now. But the guy who played him within 10 years was like in Saw or something like that. And he was like balding. I was like, holy crap, man.
Casey Jones,
that's what it was. Casey Jones, the baseball player. I should have remembered that whole rhyme and everything. But the guy who played him, within like 10 years was like missing all of the top hair and still had the side long. And I'm like, you that old then? Like, I was like, dang, man, you looked a lot younger. I mean, geez. I guess it was just me being a kid and not realizing things. I don't know. I don't even remember who played April O'Neil. I don't remember the actress or her face.
She had curly hair. Had a yellow jacket.
Yeah, right. I mean, just like Jubilee is like Yellow Jacket, but she barely wore anything. And anytime anybody's represented her, it's always been like bubblegum, weird fuchsia 80s glasses, and like giant hoop earrings and yellow jacket. Yep. What kid was wearing a bright yellow freaking
those raincoats?
Galoshes raincoat. I mean, but why?
We had raincoats growing up. We don't use them no more.
Some of the fashion choices they put on some of these shows, like Wolverine is like, I'm stealthy, let me wear yellow and blue. That was always weird. I love the comics, and I know it makes the character pop on the comic book and stuff. I get that. But it was like, that doesn't seem very logical. I mean, if it were me, that would make you a giant target. Like, if I'm Cyclops and I'm like, I'm wearing a giant blue unitard, but I've got accents to show you where all of my vital organs are with the yellow belt and straps and crap. Because it was like chest, hip, waist, arms, hands, face. It's like, oh, it's dark. Oh, I see Cyclops. Well, the parts I need to shoot. Like, it's a lot of those comics and TV shows and cartoons, I was like, well, that doesn't seem very logical. Batman was the only one that was even close to making sense. And even that got a little crazy.
Well, Storm, too. She was white and always in the clouds.
Well, that could make sense
healthy.
If her power didn't create dark clouds to create storms. It's like, oh, there's Storm. Where? In the storm. You don't see the white, hot, bright thing that's shooting lightning? That's her. Don't worry. You're safe. No one has sniper rifles.
You throw a tornado down. Snipers.
I mean, the only one who was literally protected was Rogue, because she had like invulnerability. But then all you needed to really ruin her day was just, hurt Gambit or look at her and go, you killed that boy when you were a kid. No! And she would just fall to the ground. There's a lot of stuff in the cartoon that made me laugh, like just super laugh. And comics too. A lot of them were like, you're like, seems a little ridiculous. Magneto only figured out like 500 comic books in that he could manipulate Wolverine's body. Seems a little weird.
You just never. Okay.
Yeah, at least in the movies, they literally showed that he realized it instantly. Ian McKellen's like, does that wonderful metal go through your entire body? Like at least they acknowledged it, because the amount of comic books Wolverine had been a character since the 60s. They didn't rip out his adamantium until it was like 99. I was like, man, this is a super weird comic. Does the metal guy not know he can mess with metal? There's a guy made of metal. You can control metal. He's somehow still winning fights. I don't understand the logic of this. Yeah, at least the movies, you know, or the Bryan Singer ones talked about it. Because he like grabs him in the bus and he's like, pooh, he pushes him and he goes flying through the bus. And I'm like, oh, it finally happened. He realized it. It took 50 years. A comic series. Several comic series. Do you know eventually like Magneto became a part of the X-Men? Like not as he was at the beginning, but like later on. Did you know he also like married Rogue? Yeah, because he could put a magnetic field around the outside of his skin. So she wouldn't be able to drain his powers. So she could actually marry him and love him. And Gambit was jealous the whole time. That was in the comics. I don't think they could ever bring that to the screen because they've already shown him to be like 60. And it'd be weird for a 60-year-old to be dating a 20-year-old just because they can. Anyways, that was the longest one we've ever done. It turned from, we're talking about a really small clip of music.
And then we went to daily.
We went to comics.
I don't know how I went to
Comics, movies.
But you said Machine Gun Kelly.
No, it was before that even.
No, that's when it switched. And we went to April O'Neil and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
He was dating Megan Fox. That's why I went. Okay, I'm sorry I went on a tangent, but you're probably very interested in everything I had to say, kind of. Maybe we should have a podcast episode where we talk about the top 10 stupidest moments in comics. Well, you need to know more to make that happen.
I didn't read a ton of comics. I read some when I was little, but I didn't just have stacks of them.
Or maybe we could just talk about the 10 most inconsistent moments between like actual Marvel movies. That would be funny. There are so many, but I mean, I still enjoy them, you know. I'm maybe getting a little tired of them right now, but
they got like 20 more next year.
So many. Well, I'm more excited about the TV shows though.
Yeah, speaking of
because Loki season 2 comes out.
This week.
Awesome. Is it coming out this week?
It's the 6th. Like Monday or Tuesday.
Wait, is it coming out
one at a time?
I freaking hate that. There's no ads on it. Why are they doing it? Just to be in the conversation for a month?
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Exactly. It may be 2 months or 8 weeks.
I mean, do they not realize that it actually makes people watch the episodes less because they forget it exists?
You're still going to watch it. You won't miss it.
Oh, I missed the one with Nick Fury.
That one was okay.
I watched 2 episodes and then I went, oh, that's still happening? It's just, I don't know why. It wasn't bad or anything. It was just not that interesting to me. It was kind of like Winter Soldier.
Yeah, that one was okay.
I was like, it's cool, but it felt like it was a little stretched. Like, Captain America gave you a shield. He wants you to be Captain America. I don't think I deserve to be Captain America. And then it was going through an entire series realizing I do deserve to be Captain America. That's what it was. It was weird. It was super weird.
I never cared for Captain America. He has a shield and he throws it like, oh.
He's also super strong. You can run super fast, hold his breath for long hours at a time, can actually fight with gods.
There's a lot of super soldiers.
Well, you ruin Iron Man's suit. He can't kill anything. He's a human being. He could fight with Thor. And survive.
He's got some stuff, but it's all like
Hulk, him, and Thor are like Hulk, him, and Thor were the actual team of people who were fighting and kicking shit.
I get that. I just know.
You never liked him? Really? The actor or just the whole premise?
Just the character.
Really?
He's just a strong guy with a shield. Or with his shield. You'd be like, now what?
Well, you know it did bounce off stuff, right? And if you aim it correctly. Remember the whole thing they went through where he was training with it?
I know.
I get it.
It never appealed to me.
What other ones? That'd be an interesting episode. What other characters did you find weird?
Well, out of just Marvel, he's probably the only one I don't care about. And he's in everything. Like everything.
Okay, hold on. We're actually going to do this podcast.
Are we gonna to be continued? And
we're going to talk about what is his name again? I forgot it.
Lamont Landers.
So Lamont Landers, I think he has the talent. I think he has the skill, capability. I think he's very talented. I just don't think.
He needs some guts. Just now they sing with the diaphragm going, and they put on your stomach. I'm like, come on. I need some of
that. Yeah, it's talent. He has talent. He's just got to get past that either nerves or whatever it is. But yeah.
You know what? It could be nerves because he was also singing with his eyes closed.
Well, so I used to do that, but that's because I wanted to feel the energy and stuff.
It's not nerves though.
No,
like no part of that is nerves.
Well, when you're trying to hit higher notes, eyes kind of close automatically. You know what I'm feeling? You know that you're a singer. I bet you 100% that you haven't been sitting on stage singing and going, how are you doing? I mean, look at my face when I'm saying, how are you doing? I mean,
yeah, they supposed to be just wide open.
You don't do that. You're like,
most of the time his eyes is closed. I don't really just be singing with my eyes closed like that because it's kind of weird because I don't know what's going around because I can't see nothing. And he had his eyes closed a whole like minute and a half.
Moving with your eyes closed, you're insane if you're doing that. Because you're the guy who falls off stage, runs into your band members, or gets stabbed in the side of the head with a bass guitar head, you know? You're insane if you do that. You're crazy. You deserve what you get. Fall off the stage, moron. But if you're like standing in front of a microphone stand and you're really just feeling the emotion, if you're like, you look crazy.
But he wasn't singing with all that emotion. So with him having his eyes closed.
He had some emotion in that clip. Dude, if you saw the American Got Talent thing, you'd be like, oh yeah, he had fuck tons of emotion in this one. Because the America's Got Talent thing, it was uncomfortable sometimes. Because he'd be like, and he kind of looked like, oh, I'm so nervous right now. I can't do this. Simon Cowell's already told me I suck. Yeah, I don't know. No, he's a talented singer. And he's got the potential to be something really freaking phenomenal. He's just got to break out.
It's that shell. Shell is just...
Because you can tell when he's at that point, he's like, oh, he's about to hit this crazy note and he's about to do something very dynamic and amazing or something. And he's like, and I'm like, well, that was unassuming.
Yeah, just join an old gospel church choir. You better
just
sing
a background
it.
vocal.
You better sing it, boy. Sing it. No, sing it.
Yeah. Be the road. Yeah, you gotta give a little spin on it, little something. Yeah. So other than that, you know, I think he's a talented guy. I just think he needs to break through.
Yeah.
And I think he needs to get better at picking arrangements and stuff like that. The Bill Withers is great, but Bill Withers sang that song with soul.
Yeah.
And he sang that song, I mean, because I saw him do a rendition of The Rubber Man. Bored the whole time. And that's a song that you should be like really connected to. He's a rubber man. You know, you got to have that soul with it and that little vibrato and just kind of, I mean, dude, some of the stuff that came out in the 60s and 70s was just beautiful music. And if you sing it where you do have inflections and tones that sound like soul, but you don't fully go into it, it just feels empty. And I watched him sing that song on his social media platform and I'm just like, wow, this is just, I mean, cause it's way worse. Like if you're bad, you're bad. You're making mistakes. You're off pitch, off key. You don't have the right timing, you know, that sort of thing. But if you can, you know, work on it and get better and be more dynamic, your vocals more clean, you know, you're more precise, then perfectly fine. But there's nothing worse than just being mediocre and boring.
Yeah.
Because then it's like people are like not interested enough to hate you, not interested enough to love you. So it's kind of like, that was something. Like, that's just what it is. It's like, oh, so that's a thing that happened. Okay. I'm going to go over here now. I think I'm going to grate some cheese, maybe watch a wall dry from paint. I don't know. Like, it's just, he did the Rubber Man thing and it just didn't reach me. It was like, you didn't even sing it like the original. I love the stuff where people take a song and they're like, I'm going to kick it up a notch, or I'm going to play with it, or I'm going to twist it up a little bit. That makes me happy. Someone who tries to sing exactly like the other person, but with less emotion, It's not fun. It's fucking boring. You're like, he's a rubber man. So is he actually like going and seeing this band play Rubber Man? Is that what they're called? Is that what the name of the singer's called, Rubber Man? What's happening right now? Like you're when you're thinking about the background of the song and how it was written from the other artist, that's not good because you're not paying attention to the guy who's actually singing it. Yeah. That's the questions I was literally asking myself as I watched his video. I was like, oh, I've listened to the whole song now. I didn't even realize. I wasn't paying attention. I'm not hating on him. I like the guy. I think he has potential and I think he has skill and talent. I just think he needs to brush out and hit it hard with some emotion. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to crack.
Yeah,
practice.
Your voice shouldn't crack that much this time.
Well, if you're not used to letting go and pushing out, I do it all the time like an obnoxious toddler. I'm surprised my neighbors haven't been like, hey man, too much. Just too much. Like I've dated women where it's like, they've never heard me sing because I only do it at certain times. And then all of a sudden when they do start hearing me sing and they acknowledge that, oh, he's starting to sing a lot now. Then they're like, okay, he's singing way too much and too loud. Why? Joel, you don't take a shower. You have a symphony in there, bro. Like you're doing all the instruments with your mouth. It's weird. Just odd. Super fucking odd. And then I don't notice that I do beatboxing all day long. I even had someone at the gas station say, that's a cool beat, bro. I was like, huh? He was like, you just walked in the store and came out and were beatboxing the whole time. I'm like, what? Really? He was like, yeah, did you not know? I mean, your whole lip is vibrating and your face is vibrating with it. You didn't notice? I was like, I don't notice when I do it. And he goes, bro, you should just carry a recorder around with you just to make sure when you're doing it. You should know that stuff. Because I guess I get out of the car and in my mind, I'm like, okay, gotta get gas. And I'll get to the door of the gas station. I'm like, and the people are just looking at me like I'm super weird. And I'm like, hey, what's up? Nothing. Okay. I don't notice I'm doing it. Even when I do it at the slightest, people will notice. Because I remember I was in line at a Kroger and it was like maybe 10 people in the whole place. And I'm just sitting there under my breath, very low. The guy in front of me goes, like he didn't know that it was me doing it because my lips were barely moving. And then he looked at me, is that you? I'm like, yeah, that's me. That's you? And I was like, yeah, that's me. And he goes, oh, I thought I was losing my mind. Like I had cancer and a tumor in my head. And I heard vast drum ghost beats happening in the freaking world. No, it's just the dude behind you carrying like 15 packages of cheese. The cheese was a weird thing. I'm sorry. I just thought that would be funnier. Gastric bypass. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we're done for now. Anyways, everybody like and subscribe, share the video if you found it interesting. A portion of this is going to be cut out and put on the next video we're going to do right now. We'll talk to you later. Better health, better wealth. We love you guys. Yeah. Make a face for the thumbnail.